Hi everybody, welcome. I'm Diane, and this is the first 90 days of retirement. If you've recently retired or you're getting ready to, I want to tell you something that almost nobody talks about these days. The first 90 days after retirement can set the tone for the next several years of your life. Most people spend decades looking forward to it. They picture freedom, no alarm clock, no boss, no deadlines, no Monday mornings, no commuting, just freedom. And honestly, after working 30, 40, or even 50 years, that sounds great. But I've seen something happen over and over again to friends and loved ones. People spend years planning financially for retirement, but very few people prepare for the emotional part, and that's the part that sneaks up on you. It catches you completely off guard. The surprising part is it doesn't happen all at once. It starts really quietly. You don't notice at first. The first few weeks of retirement can feel wonderful. You sleep a little later. You get your first 8 hours sleep in a while. You start enjoying your morning coffee. You don't have to rush anywhere. For the first time in decades, your schedule belongs entirely to you. And for a little while, it feels like a reward. Because it is. You've earned it. But then something starts happening. And if you're not paying attention, it can slowly change your life. You see, we spend most of our lives living with structure. For years, decades, your days had a rhythm. You got up, you got dressed, you went to work, solved problems, you talked to people, handled responsibilities. People depended on you. Whether you were raising a family or running a business, working in an office, driving a truck, teaching students, serving customers, or doing any number of jobs, you had a place in the world. You mattered. You were needed. That last one stings the most. When you retire, that stops. And at first it feels fantastic. You tell yourself, I'm finally going to relax. I'm finally going to enjoy doing whatever I want. And you should, but here's the first thing nobody warns you about. Too much freedom can actually become a problem. I know this sounds backwards, but think about it. Most of us spend our working years dreaming about freedom, but unlimited freedom can be surprisingly difficult to manage. You wake up a little later, then maybe a little later the next day. You stay in your pajamas until noon. You put off a few things you plan to do. You tell yourself, I'll do it tomorrow. You watch a little more television. You sit a while longer. You move a little less. Nothing dramatic, nothing alarming. Just tiny little changes. And before long, the days start blending together. Monday feels like Thursday. Thursday feels like Sunday. Weeks go by faster than you expected, of course. That's when relaxing can slowly turn into drifting. And drifting is dangerous because it feels harmless. Nobody wakes up one morning and says, I'm going to become isolated. Nobody says, I'm going to lose my motivation or I'm going to stop growing. It just happens gradually. So gradually that you can barely notice it. I remember watching this happen to someone I knew. This person worked hard their entire life, sharp as a tack, always busy, always involved, always had something going on. Retirement arrived and they were so excited. They said exactly what many people say. I'm going to just take it easy for a while. After decades of working, they deserved a break. But that while stretched into months. Then months became a year. And slowly they stopped doing things. They stopped challenging themselves. They stopped meeting people and learning and having goals. Little by little they withdrew from life. And the saddest part wasn't that it happened. The saddest part was how slowly it happened. And they didn't even know it. There wasn't a dramatic aha moment. No crisis, no major event, just a gradual decline. And one day people started saying, they're not quite the same person they used to be. And that stuck with me because it showed me something important. Retirement itself was not the problem. The lack of purpose was. This brings something to me that I believe strongly. Retirement isn't about escaping responsibility. It's about replacing that purpose. That's a huge difference. A lot of people think retirement means doing nothing, but I don't think that's true. I think retirement should mean having the freedom to choose what matters to you. You don't need a job to have purpose. You don't need a boss. You don't need performance reviews. But you do need a reason to get out of bed in the morning. You need something that makes you feel useful, something that makes you feel engaged, that gives your day meaning. Maybe that's helping your grandchildren or volunteering. It could be mentoring younger people or learning a new skill. Maybe it's traveling or joining a community group, writing, gardening. It could be finally tackling those projects you've been putting off for years. The specific activity doesn't matter. What matters is having something that pulls you forward, something that gives your life direction. I've noticed there are generally 3 types of retirees. The first is a drifter. He has no plan, no structure, no purpose. Every day is spent reacting instead of creating. Unfortunately, this person often becomes frustrated and bored and disconnected. The second type is the busy retiree. This person fills every minute of every day, and they're always running somewhere, always doing something. Sometimes that's good, but sometimes they're staying busy simply to avoid asking deeper questions about what really matters to them. Then there's the third type, the purposeful retiree. This person has freedom, but also direction. They enjoy retirement, but they stay engaged. They continue learning and continue contributing. They continue growing. And in my opinion, that is the sweet spot. Not overworked, not drifting, purposeful. So if you're in your first few months of retirement, here are 4 things that I would recommend. First, keep some structure. You don't need a rigid schedule, but wake up at roughly the same time every day. Get dressed. Have a plan for the day. Give your day some shape. Second, keep your mind active. Read books. Listen to podcasts. Take classes. Learn something new. Stay curious. Curiosity keeps us engaged. Third, move your body. You don't have to train for a marathon. You don't have to spend hours in a gym. Just move. Walk, stretch, stay active. Motion creates energy. And fourth, stay connected. This is one that is incredibly important. Call people, meet people, join groups, have conversations. Isolation has a way of sneaking up on people. Human beings need connection. We always have. We always will. Don't be invisible. If you're already retired or a seasoned senior like I am, you already know that after a certain age, you become invisible to most of the world. I know this firsthand. So I do simple things such as when I go to the grocery store, I make a point of looking for other seniors. I look them straight in the eye, smile big. I say, "Hello, how are you doing today?" The first time I did this, I realized in their eyes lit up. They were saying, "Oh my gosh, this person sees me." It fed my soul because I was helping them while I was helping myself. Retirement isn't the finish line. It's a transition. And transitions can be tricky. The first 90 days, get those 90 days out of the way, and you can create the momentum and build great habits. Establish routines, create a foundation for the years ahead. And that's what retirement should be, not the end of your story, the beginning of a new chapter. Now, I'd love to hear from you. If you're already retired, what surprised you the most? What was different from what you expected? And if retirement is still ahead of you, what do you think it's going to be like? Leave a comment below. I will read every single one of them. And if this video helped you, please like and consider subscribing. We have a lot more real conversations coming up. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.